Welcome to the Green Zone Podcast, the show that teaches oil and gas executives how to take command of their finances and live in the green. Your host, Jeff Green from Green Financial Group, will be your financial guide, all while giving you a tour of the most beloved and best-kept secret spots around Houston, Texas. Now, on to the show.
You have a pretty good handle on your finances, but have you thought about sharing that information with your family? I mean, that could be helpful, especially if you have plans for that money that include them. Well, Jeff Green and Lauren Smith have several suggestions.
That's right, Patrice. How are you?
I am doing well. I've got some construction going on in the background, though, so I'm going to pop myself down here and I'm going to listen to your expertise.
Yeah, you've got family coming in with you now, don't you?
I do indeed.
That's great.
That ties in perfectly.
That ties in perfect. We're going to give you some suggestions today.
Excellent. I'm listening.
So, Lauren, we do this thing called a family phone call. And that was your idea, by the way. And I think it's a phenomenal, it is working out just tremendously and so helpful to our clients. Tell a little bit about the family phone call, how that came about and what you do with that.
So the purpose of the family phone call is really to tie in the next generation. We have a lot of retirees and, people that are planning for, doing their estate planning for their retirement, and they have a lot of younger children, some grandchildren. And at times we find that the younger generation might not really know what's going on with mom and dad. And at some point, they're going to have to help mom and dad out. So we find that the family phone call is a good way to kind of tie everybody in, but it also is just a great way to tie in the next generation to financial planning in general. And it's never too early to start. So this is just a good way. What it is, we do a brief introduction and we just say, we're here as a resource for you if you need anything. And it just allows the next generation to not have to rely on Google or their friend or this person does this, and this in cryptocurrency. And
right.
That's their retirement plan. Should I be doing it too? It just opens the door for us as a resource for them should they need anything.
Well, so first, we help the kids. So the younger generation, right? So we help them with their finances to some degree, and they get us, as a benefit of their folks or whoever being our client. So, we pass that on to the kids. But I think one of the things I really like about what we're doing with this is it gives the parents, our client, the chance to have a conversation with their heirs and their family or whoever is going to be inheriting their wealth, a conversation about, who to talk to, where do I go? What do I do? I was an executor of my dad's will. I'm going to tell you, I was really honored when my dad said, hey, yeah, cause I'm the youngest, right? Yeah. I'm the youngest of three and hey, you're the executor. So I was really, honored, but I'm going to tell you once, God bless his soul. Once that actually happened and I had to go through that process, it is no honor. It took a year or longer to settle his estate. And it was work, right? And I didn't know where anything was. He just said, hey, you're the executor. Brother, I think there's a will in the closet somewhere, right? I had to go find it all. But I think one of the things that we do, and you're great about this, is we have a resource called the Vault, right? And anybody can come up with something like this, but some sort of online, cloud-based, secure site where they can put their important documents.
Yeah, you can store, we recommend it for traveling, especially put your passport. Should you ever be out of the country and lose your passport, you have access to this vault, cloud-based vault, or you can contact us and we can get into the vault for you and get the passport for you. You can also designate trusted contacts that can get into the vault on your behalf. So, a great place to put estate plans, wills, power of attorneys, anything that a kid or, family member might need. They've got access to it should they need it. So it's a good resource and a great way to say, should something happen to us, call Lauren and Jeff. Here's the login to the vault. It's just a great.
Yeah. And, so Thanksgiving is coming up. And unfortunately, our listeners are going to hear this after Thanksgiving, I would think. I mean, I don't think this got good in time.
Yeah.
But Christmas is after that. So yeah. we can use that as an excuse. So anyway, the family's getting together, right, on the holidays typically. And I'm taking this opportunity because I've just had my wills redone. My will redone and getting some of my things in order. And I'm going to take this Thanksgiving. I have all the boys together, and that's, it's harder to do these days, but they'll be together, and I'm going to let them know, here's where some things are. Here's where my will is. Here, hey, I want to all three. This is you're the executor, like it or not. You're the one that's got to, you got to deal with it. But I'm going to let them know where to go. They will know where all the documents are. They will know, there'll be trust set up for them. Hopefully not really, because they have to be a certain age, whatever. But if I go before they're 33, then the trust set up. So hopefully the trust never gets set up. So but we'll see. And it just explain to them how it's going to work and where everything is, where the important contracts are, where the life insurance policy is, where the bank statements are. And then all they really need to have is just the password to get to that. Yeah. Right. So that I want to take that opportunity, and I would encourage everyone to start at least thinking about this, because it makes life much easier on them when something happens to you.
And my parents did this with me probably right around the time I went to college. I'm an only child, so should something happen,
we know.
Thanks. But should something happen to them, that's a lot on me. And at the time when they mentioned all this, I had no idea what their net worth was. I had no idea life insurance policies, especially when you're younger in college, you're not thinking about life insurance policies, power of attorney, wills. None of that stuff is really on your radar. So they sat down with me and said, should something happen to us, we have a folder. And, it was before the time of the vault. So it was just a hard a paper folder that my mom kept by the computer with copies.
And that's still viable. I mean,
it's still viable, but it becomes harder to track down.
Right.
Over the year, they told me about this folder.
Right.
20 years ago. Now, is that folder sitting in the exact same spot, or has it moved?
Right.
We don't know. Luckily, now I'm in this industry. I know where their finances are. It's a much easier transition should something happen to them. But, it was a conversation they had, and I was very young. I was probably 18, 19, but I needed to understand that should something happen to them, I am the one that has to help with this. And I am the one that needs to know what we're looking for and where to go and who to call. And, another thing that's important is if you have a financial advisor, if you have an estate attorney, make sure that those contacts are written down somewhere and that they're discussed with your family members. Just because if something happens to you, they can know I'm going to call Jeff Green or Lauren Smith, and they can steer me in the right direction.
It could be a simple Word document that it's written out on, right? Names and phone numbers, and then that's put in the vault. And if you had listened to our cybersecurity podcast a while back, you would know that there are apps out there, password, like password apps. You can always put your password, like your kids can have that app, right? And then put that your password to the vault in their secure app so that they always have it.
Look at you getting all tech savvy.
Well, hey, I'm a man of the times. So, they'll always have that. So you don't have to worry about where that folder gets moved around to,
exactly.
Right? Yeah.
So, just with the holidays coming up, it's a great time to really have that conversation. Start having the estate planning conversation as well. You might not know your end of life wishes, but now is a good time to have it. Have it with your spouse. If you want to loop your kids into making that decision with you, rather than you just making it and letting them know what your wishes are, now is a good time to talk about it. No one ever wants to talk about these things, but while you're together for the holidays, it's
have a glass of wine.
Yeah, have a glass of wine, a quick, 20, 30-minute conversation, and then move on and enjoy being together for the holidays.
They'll appreciate it in the end, won't they?
Yeah, they will.
Well, here is to family. Jeff Green, self-described man of the times, and Lauren Smith, a single child of Green Financial Group. Don't miss out on new episodes of their podcast, The Green Zone. Follow wherever you source your podcasts and share with friends and those you care about.
Thank you for listening to the Green Zone podcast. Click the subscribe button below to be notified when new episodes become available. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views and opinions of Green Financial Group. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning. Securities offered through Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Raymond James Financial Services Advisors, Inc. Green Financial Group is not a registered broker-dealer and is independent of Raymond James Financial Services. Jeff Green is the founder of Green Financial Group and is a registered principal of RJFS. The Green Financial Group is located at 6363 Woodway Drive, Suite 625, Houston, Texas, 77057, and can be reached at 713-244-3600. 3030. Raymond James is not affiliated with and does not endorse the opinions or services of his guests.